Hello, everyone, and welcome to another session of our series, Qahwa with Google MENA, where you'll get the chance to meet with Google MENA's product experts across the year and tune into engaging and snackable product deep dive presentations. The word Qahwa literally means coffee in Arabic, so grab your mugs, sit back, and enjoy. I'm Chantal Azzi, Data and Measurement Lead for the MENA market. And today, we'll be covering the digital ads ecosystem changes and durable web measurement solutions that will help you be ready for this evolving landscape by future-proofing your data and measurement. Now let's get started. If we take a quick look at the main themes that will be affecting web marketing in 2024, we can bucket them in three. The first theme is consent regulations, meaning how you can collect user data as advertisers. This is mainly influenced and driven by increasing customer expectations around how and why their data is used, as well as what data is being collected. We've had different data protection regulations in several markets around this topic of data collection, starting with the GDPR in 2018. And most of them, as you can see, are impacting the European Economic Area. All these regulations are summarized in our EU consent policy, published and available online. Now, what's important here is ensuring that advertisers present in EU, or even considering expanding to EU, collect and communicate user consent for EA traffic in compliance with our EU consent policy. If this isn't done, unfortunately, you won't be able to use Google Audiences features since March 6, 2024. And later in the year, you won't be able to adopt our measurement features. So it's super important here to take the relevant steps the soonest. The second theme is third-party cookie deprecation on the Chrome browser. Despite the fact that this has been delayed to early 2025, this doesn't mean you should be delaying, as a result, putting in place the right solutions to mitigate this deprecation's impact on your marketing campaigns, because it can take a lot of time. That's why I highly recommend you start your readiness journey now to make sure you are fully ready when deprecation takes place. Now, historically, it's been quite difficult to say exactly what is impacted by third-party cookie deprecation and what depends on third-party cookies. The good news is that everything you see in green on this slide will not be impacted by third-party cookie deprecation, meaning it won't rely at all on third-party cookie. Everything in yellow, though, is what will be impacted, but that you can preserve if you take action. So that is what we're going to focus on today. What are the actions and products that you need to implement to keep the yellow part working for you? The most important being remarketing and conversion measurement, which typically every marketer is interested in, and which are impacted, but you can completely preserve, as I mentioned, if you take action and actually grab this as an opportunity to improve your performance. So let's deep dive a bit into what exactly gets impacted on remarketing and conversion measurement. Without third-party cookies, you cannot do cross-device conversion tracking or engaged view conversions. Also, remarketing in DV360 and Google Display Ads will be impacted if you don't take action. And finally, something that not all advertisers know is that if you have suboptimal tagging implementations, let's say, for example, you have a tag, but only on certain pages, right now we're applying a kind of safety net, whereby if your tagging is not optimal or you don't have a tag on certain pages, we use third-party cookie to measure what you want to measure. After third-party cookie deprecation, we're going to have to remove the safety net. So it's super important that ahead of third-party cookie deprecation, you make sure that you have the right tagging in place to avoid any degradation in your measurements. The last theme that I want to talk about in this session is Apple's link tracking protection. This already started a while ago with Intelligent Tracking Protection, or ITP, which is when third-party cookies got disabled by default on Safari and first-party cookies started expiring after 24 hours, all of which is not new. What is new is the link tracking protection. This refers to Apple now blocking some URL parameters, such as the Google Click ID, or gclit, from private browsing users. Gclit stripping means that when you have a user that clicks on your ad, lands on your website, we will create the Google Click ID, which is usually used for the tracking. In this case, with this change on Safari's browsing, the Gclit is stripped before it can be captured by the Google tag. This means that 1, the Google tag is unable to identify the click ID associated with the conversion, so it cannot link the ad click to the conversion. And 2, you cannot capture the click ID for your offline conversion import if you are importing offline conversions using OCI. The way you can solve things, and we'll deep dive into this shortly, is through enhanced conversions for online conversions or enhanced conversions for leads for OCI or other more durable solutions. So we've looked into the 3 themes evolving the digital ads landscape. These themes require 3 things as actions. 1, you're going to have to continue to meet your users' expectations for transparency, and control over their personal data is going to continue to increase over time. 2, we're going to have to continue to obtain and respect the end user's consent for EA traffic. And 3, you're going to continue to take actions to maintain audience and measurement capabilities. So the question is, what actions do you need to take, and how does the web privacy readiness journey look like? One important thing to keep in mind here is that everything lies on your first-party data as the most durable and future-proof type of data. Then the foundation to everything is to have a site-wide healthy tagging, a key requirement to be able to implement any other solution that I'll be talking about. On top of this foundation, you're going to have a consent framework for EAA traffic with consent banner and consent mode. Then you'll have solutions like enhanced conversions for web or leads and customer match, which are all measurement and audience solutions based on first-party identifiers. Matching keys that you can continue to link ad clicks to conversions or re-engage with customers in a durable, future-proof way. We'll also talk about the meaning of using conversion values on top of these solutions. Lastly, but equally crucial, migrating from UA360 to GA4 is extremely essential with the legacy UA360's deprecation at the end of June 2024. 3 things that I'm most excited about in Google Analytics 4 are as follows. Enabling you to see how your users interact with both your website and app. Supporting you in a privacy-first future by helping to fill gaps from cookie loss through modeling and keeping up with the changing ecosystem, and leveraging Google AI to offer anomaly detection, predictive audiences, surface new insights, and much more. Universal Analytics is built on a 10-plus-year-old infrastructure that ultimately is not able to support the increasingly high data volume and the cookieless and modeling capabilities demanded by our changing measurement landscape. So how does Google Analytics 4 help you better achieve your business outcomes? First, it allows you to see unified user journeys across both web and app, as I previously mentioned. This means you can measure a more unified, holistic user journey by connecting multiple data sources. For instance, collecting user interactions from your website and your app, and having the ability to tie all of their user journey together, or even so, ingesting offline data from your business to provide better view of your user. Second, as you collect your data and get a more holistic view of your users, this enables you to derive powerful business insights based on the data that you are measuring. Improved reporting capabilities and customization enable you to better understand your business's performance. Leverage the power of Google AI to predict and surface new insights, and let us build predictive audiences for you to utilize. Third, as you derive powerful insights about your users, you now take action on your data across Google Ads and Google Marketing Platform. Get a deeper understanding of your customers' behaviors through advanced modeling techniques by exporting your data to BigQuery. Activate insights and first-party data audiences across channels by leveraging direct integrations to Google Media platforms to optimize your media spend and improve your marketing ROI. So as I previously mentioned, tagging is the absolute foundation to everything. The Google tag has 3 key benefits. The first one is that it ensures that you have a strong and accurate conversion modeling, which is more and more important over time as we try to fill in the gaps of conversions that we cannot observe anymore. Secondly, it reduces the disruption of the different themes I covered earlier because it can unlock durable first-party identifiers. And lastly, but most importantly, the Google tag is required to take advantage of privacy-preserving solutions like the Privacy Sandbox. So you will need to have the Google tag site-wide to benefit from the Privacy Sandbox. We need the tag to enable it in the back end for you. Here are a few common tag issues that might lead you to be impacted by link decoration, third-party cookie deprecation. So make sure you're not doing any of those. In case you are, make sure to fix it before early 2025. That is, ensure you enable auto-tagging, that you have site-wide Google tagging in place, that you're not relying on any legacy tags anymore, and try to migrate to one Google tag and make sure that you have cross-domain tracking implemented. Once you have the Google tag as a foundation, you'll have to implement a consent framework for EEA traffic. This consists of 2 steps. One is collecting consent on your website in a way that respects EU consent policy that I mentioned earlier. And I highly recommend that you work on this step with one of our consent management platforms partners. They can help you understand what language you need to put on your consent banner, how to ask for consent for specific things, as we are unable to advise you on this part. That's why we have a whole program of certified partners that can help you and guide you through this step. And these partners can also help you in step 2 and make it easier on you to communicate the consent. So once you've collected it on your website, you'll need to communicate it with Google to be able to keep the audiences and measurement features. Now, the way that you communicate this consent is mainly through consent mode, which our consent management partners can help you implement faster. So here are essentially all the different ways to pass consent for all the different use cases. Consent mode is the way to pass consent for online data. Now, if you're doing offline measurement or using offline audiences, you will also have to pass consent signals for those. And that's done by sending the consent granted or denied through the APIs or in UI attestation. Again, this is only for EEA traffic. Now let's move on to enhanced conversions feature. The way this solution works is that we have Google signed-in users who will click on your ad and convert on your website. We're going to have the hashed conversion data from these conversions matched against hashed PII from our Google signed-in users. And that's how we do the link between an ad click and the conversion. So you can see how the matching key here is not the gclid, it's hashed PII, which are first-party durable identifiers. And that's why having Google Tag and EC puts you in a very good situation amid third-party cookie deprecation and Apple link decoration. These are the 3 main things that EC protects you against or helps you towards. The 2 things we're breaking after third-party cookie deprecation, cross-device conversions and engaged view conversions. You maintain them if you have EC. And the last thing is Safari Apple tracking limitations. We have another version of EC. What I've previously covered is EC for web, but we do have EC for leads. EC for leads is very similar to EC for web, but instead of linking an ad click to an online conversion, we link the ad click to an online event, like form link submission, to an offline conversion. So it links these 3 things together based on hashed PII durable first-party data identifiers. This is durable solution if you are using offline conversions import. Now, once you've implemented all the solutions I mentioned, tag, consent framework, EC, to be protected against browser limitations and third-party cookie deprecation, we highly recommend that you bid to conversion values. So instead of just bidding towards those conversions that you've tracked and trying to maximize conversion counts only, we recommend that you actually import or ingest values for each conversion so that our bidding algorithms actually know what you care about the most. Let's say you're an online business and you have a product you sell that makes a much significant profit than other items. This is super important for the bidding algorithm to try and maximize your profits. And we found that advertisers that do that transition to value-based bidding actually see an increase of 14% in their overall conversion value. So in their profit margins, for example. Now, the way you ingest those values to essentially assign a value for each conversion is done using the following solutions. EC for leads, as I mentioned. When you import those conversions offline, with EC for leads, you can also import an associated value. So if you're a lead gen advertiser, that's the ideal durable solution to import value. Now, the two ways to do it, if you're an online sales advertiser, is firstly through server-side GTM, which allows you to import real-time values that you can bid towards, but you need to be able to compute it immediately at the time of a conversion. And if you're not able to compute it at the time of a conversion, another solution which is still in beta right now is deferred offline conversion adjustments, where you have 7 days to adjust that value to what you really care about. The last thing I wanted to cover in this session is customer match. Everything I've talked about was measurement solutions, but audiences and remarketing are also super important. And post third-party cookie deprecation, the best tool to do that is customer match. This is the equivalent of enhanced conversions, but for audiences. So EC links at click to conversions based on hashed PII with the hashed PII that we have for Google signed-in users. Customer match works the same. You tell us what's hashed PII of the customers you want to re-engage with by importing this data into Google Ads platforms. We match this against our signed-in users, which lets you re-engage with these customers through your ads. So this was a lot of solutions to cover in one go. I hope you're all still with me. To make your life easier, here's a summary of all 3 themes for 2024 and relevant solutions for each. You can see that many solutions address several themes, like Google Tag Solution and EC will help you in third-party cookie deprecation and limited tracking, for example. So this is a nice overview of what we covered throughout this session that you can use as a cheat sheet. Now, I just want to take a step back and showcase a bigger picture. Everything that was covered today is first-party data solutions and infrastructure. The reason why I talked about it is that this is where exactly you can take action, where your work is required by implementing all these solutions that I mentioned. But this is only one part of the story. So what you need to do is to ensure that you're implementing these solutions to maximize what you're observing. And then we, in the background, will use AI and Privacy Sandbox to fill in the gaps. There is nothing for you to worry about on the latter, as this is something we will enable for you in the backend. All you need to do to prepare for the Privacy Sandbox is to make sure you have the Google tag site-wide needed to enable it, and make sure you maximize your adoption of all these first-party data solutions to observe as much data as possible and minimize the gaps that need to be filled. Thank you so much for tuning in. You can find all the resources attached to the session, so check them out and share them with your teams who would benefit from them. Take care.